And today I'm going to be looking at, today, some people thought when they saw Star Wars Rogue One recently, and maybe when they saw The Force Awakens last year, they thought, oh, I might actually get interested into Star Wars. So today I'm going to actually show you what book content I could actually give you for advice. Now, the best book content company so far is DK. DK does a very well job in publishing its information and making it very easy for people to understand in the complicated situations in Star Wars. So this is going to be all about your basic knowledge because you need to start building up and you want to start knowing about Star Wars, basically, and that's it. That's all you want to know. This won't include content for anything like small one-off Clone Wars series. This isn't going to be like the canon series, or there's not going to be looking at novels or books. Why is there pictures coming up everywhere? Get the hell, please. No, 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 no. Get off the page. Get off. There we go. Basically, it's going to be your basic knowledge. What do you need to know? And if you want to start becoming a Star Wars ace, in a way, this is the best thing to go. But don't go for these fucking Star Wars helmet collection piece of shit. They're not really any use to you at all. Because we're halfway through the collection already. It's like maybe 30 copies now by the time this is out. And it's not really worth your time. Plus, it's like £10 an issue or something for a little helmet like this big. So, there we go. Like this big, not really worth its time. But if you have been collecting them, that's a good thing. So, mostly this is going to be on DK, but there's some books that we'll refer to, and I will explain what they are and who they're from and who they're illustrated and written them and why I choose them to be a good intention to look inside the Star Wars universe. Because all we see is this one big movie that's came out this year. Well, sorry, last year before the Trump legacy began. Yeah, he's an ass. But I'll begin with my first book, fairly easy, Star Wars Expert Guide. Fairly simple guide. Basically, I'll read it from the back here. How you become a Star Wars ace? From Jedi to Sith, Rebels to Imperials, clones to Stormtroopers, lightsabers and droids. Brilliant book jammed with jam-packed information about the Star Wars universe. Basically, this is a very simple thin book. Very simple. Some of you might got it when the Force Awakens came out, but that's what I did. I got this free, but in Tesco store I found it for £3, and that's all it was. Basically, it's nothing special, but it's really specially contented the light and dark side, specialties, how to become a Jedi and how to become a Sith, and from showing just many things on how the Star Wars universe works, the leadership of two, and what the actual armies have, the weapons and the manufacturing and just basic information, very simple. And the Imperial Army, the CIS, the clone troopers, sorry, the Republic, and the Rebel Alliance. And then they actually are able to reach into the Force Awakens if this page is ever going to come up and show me. And there's the Stormtroopers from the First Order, which is actually quite cool how they illustrated that. That's just a simple DK book. Most of the books here are going to be DK. I'll get through them first and see what happens next. So we have one of my favorite books. Okay, might as well take it away from the screen a little bit. Star Wars Complete Vehicles. Now, this is going to be a bit of a. This is a favorite of mine, which basically has the intention to show you what's actually inside these vehicles. Everything from episode 1 to episode 7. Sorry, episode 7 now, because I got the additional book which could show you everything that's ever needed for the vehicles. We're looking at from the Republic Cruiser, I believe it's the Republic Cruiser from episode 1, the basically the Attack of the Clones ATTE maybe on well it is. It's got hundreds of vehicles, all the way to the X-Wing, to Jabba the Hutt's sail barge, and even the Death Star. So that's quite impressive for it. And it's really well drawn. It was drawn out very detailed and specifically for the fans to find out what's actually how these machines work. You know, if a TIE bomber's got proton torpedoes, where does it store them? We don't know. We never get to see any X-ray footage. This is what it shows you X-ray footage of a walker, as is shown at the front of the book, and basically other things. This was illustrated by Hans Jessen and Richard Chasemore. I hope I'm saying you guys' names right. And it's written by Kelly Dungnelly. Sorry if I'm saying your name wrong, and 3 other names. Now we're moving on to something that's quite similar, but also quite impressive, which came out just recently. Star Wars Complete Location. Sorry, my fingers are in the way there. This is a very impressive book because, as before, it was X-rayed in different versions, or everything from episode 1 to episode 7, which actually showed you the locations of where these places are. Everything from Battle of Tess. If you don't know what Tess is, that's the city in Naboo in episode 1. The Gungan city from there. The Battle of Geonosis, the medical center where Darth Vader was created, which is, I could not believe what was actually in there. It was so hidden up well. And basically, it shows you inside the Death Star again. But, it was like that first scene you get in episode 4 and it just showed you everything. The Mos Eisley Cantina, it's not special, but you get all these different places, sorry. The Jedi Temple itself, because it's quite an impressive building despite how huge it actually is. It's actually quite a hard job killing all the Jedi, because the Order 66, I understand how it was quite a hard job for them. It's quite a big building to take down. And the Yavin 4 Temple, we get that. Where you get the Battle of Hoth, we actually show how the map goes. They are in a straight line, but it's very complicated how everything works. Hoth Rebel Base. The Death Star 2, what actually looks like from the outside. Well, we've seen it already in movies. But it's quite impressive how it does everything. And it actually shows you, as from the front of the book here, I'll pick it back up again. If you can tell, that is Leia's AT-AT. Yes, she's got a personalized AT-AT, and if you haven't seen The Force Awakens already, I'm sorry, I've ruined half the story for you. And it actually shows you the Resistance base at the end of the book, and shows you the Starkiller base and plenty of other locations seen out throughout the movies. This was illustrated by Hans Jessen again and Richard Cheesemore. Well, they tend to do these books all together. This book's roughly worth £30 altogether. It'd be the same for the other book as well. That might actually be cheaper. £30, $35 if you were American. Same for Canada, probably. It was also written by people that was from episode 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Illustrators and like people that litter everything they need to know. It shows you actually quite good detail of a map, of the galaxy map, of where all the planets are, and that's what it showed you in the this little book here as well. It shows you a little map of where everything is, but you get a better detail in the. If you do detail of what the planets are, basically all your basic ones, Yavin 4, Hoth, Bearsbian, Endor, Moon, Jakku, just all basics. Everything you need to know basic, and just gives you good details of what the worlds are like. You know, this place is luxurious, this place is a freezing hellhole, and this place is a burning place to die. And look at you, Vader. Another book I have, it's not on me just now, but I keep seeing every time I'm in W.H. Smith, probably by tomorrow, is Star Wars Ultimate Guide. This book was designed by DK as well to perform basically just the same as the other books were. But if you ever look at DK, when they did World War One, you got a nice white picture. It's up probably just now. Basically, it just gives you a good illustration of what everything is. So it's quite useful in that. So it just gives you good details on what everything is, what everything was. Actually, I'll give you another good hint of what it looks like here. Well, in the new one, I didn't say I was going to do one-off movies, but this is Star Wars Rogue One: The Ultimate Guide. I said I wasn't going to do it in this version, but Rogue One is a big movie, so I kind of have to illustrate it now. It was written by Pavel Pivago, the leading Star Wars fan, if as I ever known. Illustrators by Kemp. I believe I'm saying your name right. I'm so sorry if I'm not, but this is a good intention of what is inside Rogue One. There we go. Basically, it gives you a good detail on this Shadow Trooper, Director Krennic, the Empire, and the Resistance, well, the Rebellion as well, which is a very good intention. The reason I chose this book is because it actually tells me what happened to the Death Star. It's got this nice faction of about the Death Star inside. There we go. It's out of my way. Basically, it tells you these people we never see before, like, well, we know who Grand Moff Tarkin is, but we get these other people that's in the room behind him. That's spoiler for Rogue One. I'm sorry, but this, it tells you who the admirals are, who some of the captains are. Darth Vader. I actually got told how old he actually was. I was surprised. And basically, it just gives you a good insight what's been going on, what's Galen Erso involved with this, what the hell's been happening with the Death Star, why has this happened, and it just gives you a good feeling of what's been going on for the last 20 odd years of the Death Star's lane, which never gets used, and why it got delayed, and it gives a good explanation of what happened. Now, this is another book I've got interested in. This might not all count as legend, but most of it is canon. Sorry, I might have moved there. This is Star Wars: The Ultimate Guide to Warfare. Now, I like this book because it actually tells me how the Imperial Army works and how the wars, both canon and legends. See, when you look at legends and canon, they can work at the same time as each other. You can tell what's not working and then what does work. Like different species, this never existed. Thrawn's species never existed until recently, thanks to Rebels. It was illustrated by Jason Fry. Sorry, it might flick there. It gives you information of what happened before the wars, basic simple facts, and then it all jumps to the Battle of Endor. See that little bears there toppling that ATST, poor Imperial people, really sorry about them. But that's what I find. I'm more of a military person. I like seeing how the military works in all these situations, and that's a real good insight of what happens. It's not for just the Imperials. It tells how the Separatists were created in its own context, the Republic, Palpatine's purpose, everything to do with warfare is illustrated underneath that. Now, I found this book quite interesting. This despite this is a Legends book, it's called, sorry, Star Wars Imperial Handbook. Now, it's just a small book, nice enough, tells you everything you need to know about the military, everything else. Oh, look, poster, lovely. Sorry, I dropped my book there. It's not like I like this book anyway. Sorry. And so, basically, that's just the entire book. It says it was written by Luke Skywalker, which I like. And it's got these little moments in the book. It's like it's Imperial words start getting written and then you score it out. It's like these people were actually stupid at the time when they were doing this. I killed them all. It's like that, something's funny or whatever he said, not like how I did. It was very dramatic. So it was basically just everything you need to know about the Empire, despite it is a Legends book. There is a Jedi version of this book and a Sith version, but I can never tell. I'm never a big fan of Sith or Jedi. It's just force wielding. I just love the weapons and the military and the technology. That's what just brings me up to the whole loving of Star Wars technology. But I hope you enjoyed watching this video. This is the top books I would recommend in starting to look at. If you want to look at the information, if you want to look at more detail, this is not including novels or anything like that, because novels just tend to drag into a story that you want to hear, and this isn't what this video is about. This is about the information, places, you feel like you want to actually go there, but you can't, so there's a book. See this book? Read it. Okay, that's going in the bin. So, without any further ado, thank you for watching this video. Like and subscribe to the channel, and may the force be with you.